Hello, my name is Labina Varghese and I am a research analyst at HERC, the Houston Education Research Consortium, a research practice partnership between Rice University and 11 public school districts in the Houston area. Today, I'm going to present results from our long-term English learner study examining whether timing of reclassification was associated with changes in the number of exclusionary disciplinary actions from 6th through 10th grade. A long-term English learner, or LTEL, is an English learner who enters Texas public schools in the first grade and does not reclassify as English proficient after 5 years, when most students begin middle school. Previous results from HERC have found that compared to English learners who reclassified in elementary school, LTELs had lower math and reading scores in middle school, were less likely to take advanced coursework in middle school, and were less likely to graduate high school on time. To build off these findings, this presentation focuses on an outcome related to school engagement, specifically students' experiences of exclusionary disciplinary actions from middle to early high school. The research question under investigation is if timing of reclassification was associated with changes in the number of exclusionary disciplinary actions from 6th through 10th grade. By timing of reclassification, we are referring to the grade level that an English learner student reclassified as English proficient, specifically elementary school, middle school, high school, or never reclassified. We also included students who were never English learners in this analysis. By changes in disciplinary actions, we examined the number of exclusionary disciplinary actions accumulated from 6th through 10th grade. Exclusionary disciplinary actions include suspension, expulsion, or placement in an alternative educational program, such as disciplinary alternative education program or juvenile justice alternative education program. To preview our findings, we saw that the number of exclusionary disciplinary actions increased for all students in middle and early high school. Between 6th through 10th grade, ELs who had not reclassified before high school received more exclusionary disciplinary actions than never ELs and their EL peers who had reclassified earlier. By 10th grade, ELs who had reclassified in high school or never reclassified accumulated on average 2 additional exclusionary disciplinary actions than their peers. In this study, we followed 4 cohorts of students who began first grade in Texas public schools in 2007 to 08, 2008 to 09, 2009 to 10, and 2010 to 11, and went on to attend middle school in 10 Houston area school districts. We followed these cohorts for 10 years when most of the students would have completed 10th grade. Our analyses examined the cumulative number of exclusionary disciplinary actions from 6th through 10th grade, comparing never ELs and ELs who reclassified in elementary, middle, high school, or never reclassified. We also considered important student, campus, and district factors. Of the 167,808 students in this sample, 42% of these students began first grade as English learners. 67% of these students were economically disadvantaged, and over half, 56% of these students were Hispanic, 20% were Black, 17% were white, and 7% were Asian or another race or ethnicity. Of the 42% of students who began first grade as English learners, almost 60% of them reclassified in elementary school. 18% of these students reclassified in middle school, and 23% reclassified in high school or never reclassified. Together, this indicates that 41% of ELs in this sample went on to become LTELs. This graph shows the percent of students who were disciplined at any point between 6th and 10th grade based on timing of reclassification. About 2/3 of students who reclassified in high school or never reclassified at least received at least one exclusionary disciplinary action during this time period. About half of the students who reclassified in middle school as well as never ELs received at least one exclusionary disciplinary action. And just over a third of students who reclassified in elementary school received a disciplinary action during this time period. As previously mentioned, we examined changes in the cumulative number of disciplinary actions while considering several important factors. These include several student demographic factors and prior school experiences, important campus factors based on the schools they attended during these years, and the district that the student attended in middle school. Now for our results. In this graph, we have 4 lines representing never ELs, ELs who reclassified in elementary school, ELs who reclassified in middle school, and ELs who reclassified in high school or never reclassified. Each line shows the number of exclusionary disciplinary actions they accumulated from grade 6 through 10. All 4 lines show a similar upward trend in 6th and 7th grade. In other words, all students experienced similar increases in disciplinary actions from 6th and 7th grade, regardless of timing of reclassification. Students averaged between 0 and 2 exclusionary disciplinary actions in 6th and 7th grade. In this graph, we can see that from 6th through 10th grade, all groups showed an increase in disciplinary actions over time. However, ELs who reclassified in high school or never reclassified, represented in the dark gray line, showed a sharper increase in disciplinary actions after 7th grade. By 10th grade, ELs who reclassified in elementary or middle school as well as never ELs averaged between 3 and 4 cumulative exclusionary disciplinary actions. In contrast, by 10th grade, ELs who reclassified in high school or never reclassified averaged about 6 exclusionary disciplinary actions, which is about twice as many disciplinary actions compared to their peers. To summarize, exclusionary disciplinary actions increased for all students from middle to early high school. However, after 7th grade, disciplinary actions increased more for ELs who had not reclassified before high school. By 10th grade, ELs who did not reclassify before high school received on average almost twice as many exclusionary disciplinary actions than their peers. These findings lead to some important reflections. After 7th grade, what contributes to the steep increase in disciplinary actions for ELs who did not reclassify before high school? An important implication of these findings is that reclassification in middle school is still important and needs to be prioritized as it protects ELs from experiencing this additional increase in disciplinary actions. Finally, LTELs who did not reclassify before high school were more likely to receive any exclusionary disciplinary action during this time period. And even after accounting for important student, campus, and district factors, they received more exclusionary disciplinary actions than their peers. Given this trajectory, these trends likely continued through the remainder of high school. For next steps in the LTEL study, we have several additional research questions under examination, including how are grade retention and identification of special education services associated with EL reclassification? What is the average time of reclassification for ELs, and how do these patterns of reclassification differ by student factors? And finally, what are early warning indicators of becoming LTEL? Specifically, what factors at early grades are most predictive of an EL becoming LTEL? Thank you so much for joining me as I present the latest results from the LTEL study. Please do not hesitate to contact us using the contact information on the screen. We look forward to presenting new results from the study shortly.